Hello, good evening, and welcome to my bit and Mister on this Thursday.
Babe, somebody put the ashtray back over here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, y'all, welcome to episode 99. 99 episodes.
In this thing. And yes, we here, we live, we with y'all, and we welcome each and every one of you to the show. Thank you for giving us your time here today, and all the extra episodes that y'all have been a part of. And Marie, how the hell leave it 12? Oh well, it is what it is. But we here, we in here, and we are thankful to have y'all here with us today. But before we get on camera, let's see which one of these do I want to put up first. And let's go with this one. Now check this out.
Town, like maybe, or even at church, a club, whatever, and they're wearing some like jewelry. Me, I've always just assumed they were real. Like if you wear jewelry, I assume it's real. But I've been seeing online where people go downtown and they walk up to people with nice jewelry, and if it doesn't beep, it's not real. Listen, and I got this. I'm not gonna tell you where. If it doesn't beep, it's not real. It didn't move. It's not real. Let me try this one. It's not real. But it looks real. It looks shiny. It looks nice until it was tested. The moment it was tested, there were no questions if it was real or not. Many of us on Sunday morning, I like to show up nice. I like to show up shiny. I like to show up bright. But the moment I'm tested, it all goes away. The moment someone begins to push, it all goes away. The moment someone questions me, it all goes away. The moment I'm tested by the enemy, it all goes away. The moment my anointing and my gift doesn't get me where I think it ought to go, it all goes away. Maybe it's not because I wasn't shiny. Maybe it's because there was no substance. Something can look expensive but cost nothing.
About things looking good on the outside versus it's looking good on the inside.
Right.
Until it's tested.
And like I said, it always looks a certain way on the outside, and then like I say that's one of those with us too. No matter how hard we work, we grind, and the moment it seemed like we getting ready to get a reward or a harvest, a lot of the hard work that we put in, and times it seems like it gets even harder, and it just the pressure just won't stop applying itself to you in your life. And
then the universe, you know what, I really feel like that. I know that a lot of folks like to say the universe. A lot of people like to say the big guy in the sky. But I just feel like at this point we are really headed in the right direction, because it's like today was one of those test days where I was tested because it was something that I wanted for my family. But I have to remember that I was like, well, big guy, you put us where you want us to be. You lead us what's going to be the best place for us, the best option for us. And it's like everything that I wanted to do, I was being tested. How bad you really wanted it, because I could have pursued what it was that I wanted to pursue. But I pay attention to signs all the time. So that was just affirmation of, okay, you don't want to go that route either, because you already said you didn't want to do no whole lease. What's wrong with you? At least when you get ready to buy, they come through, you get ready to buy the house, you can always say, okay, we buying a home. It is what it is. Y'all know, I don't care if you do know. Let me see if I can find some fucks. I couldn't find them. So I don't give them. But I just really feel like today was that day where I was tested as an individual of how bad I wanted. And that was originally the plan when I first laid eyes on it. Sometimes what works for you doesn't work for everybody else, doesn't work for somebody else. It just works for you. That's why it's just for you. And I knew at that point when I saw it, it was going to work for me and mine. One, it's affordable. Two, my husband said something to me I'm all about the curb appeal and what things look like on the outside. But he was like, it didn't matter what it looked like on the outside. You can make the outside look like what you want it to look like. Same way with that video. He looked like he had a lot of money because of that chain. But it wasn't no questions after he tested the chain and we knew the chain wasn't real. Same way with real life, this game called life. Like you one thing, don't judge things by the cover. Just because it look one way on the outside, doesn't mean it's the same way on the inside. So, I was feeling that. Like it is about what you make it. So, um, I'm having a great day on this Thoughtful Thursday because it really made me go into a thought process of how to move. What would be the best direction to take. And Thoughtful Thursday has been great to me, guys. I hope it's been everything to you guys. It's 104 degrees outside. I took a BC, but my head banging so bad, y'all. I just really want to just strip down naked, like strip down naked, and eat something, eat a little something. You know what I'm saying? Cut the fan up on high as it go, and just lay out. If I'm on my phone lounging, if I'm doing good work in the bed lounging, if we watching some Jamie Foxx and lounging, like it's just that type of day. It's like hot and muggy, and I'm over this day. I'm grateful for this Thoughtful Thursday, but I'm over. I'm sick of having these heat headaches. It's been that hot. My dad got sick today, y'all, and he was outside. And like I told him, you doing chemo, you can't be in the heat. So it was good to know that he was doing okay. He was feeling better, but he was in the house where it's cool at. So I said all that to say this: if you outside, take your ass in the house. If you ain't gotta be outside. You ain't gotta be outside, man, trying to show your booty cheeks, man, or your muscles. Take your ass in the house. It's absolutely hot. It's too hot for that. Go in the house and take a fucking selfie and post it. Okay? That's what you do.
And go in the house and take a picture outside your window of the outside.
Yeah. While you inside of it. Because shit, it's hot. It's just too hot for all that extra. And then, I was tested today at work too. Normally that past girl that had a mindset she have, because we all have been there where we always talk about priorities over pleasure. Sometimes we lose sight of those priorities and do the pleasurable things. And pleasurable thing would have been for me to say, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. I don't got no fucks to give. But the prioritizing the priorities, it was speaking a little bit louder today. So I know that's growth for me because it was saying, hold up, you got them little faces. What you doing? You got that man. You got them big bills. You trying to make that move. I know these MFers. You know what? I ain't gonna say that. I know these folks is driving you because it ain't no structure. But remember, you got structure. Why don't you just center yourself and get that together? So I had to center my own self, y'all, and get that together. And I feel like I passed that test because in the past I would have been like, peace, yeah, real quick. But I'm just not that woman anymore. I believe in having stability and security in anything that I'm doing now. That'll help me be the best part of me, having those two things, guaranteed things coming. And then my family is good, my immediate family, my children, my husband, my dog, my two cats I got. Yeah, they my cats, I said it because I take care of them. So yeah, that part. But hey, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're going through on this Thoughtful Thursday, sit down and think it out before you make a move. Make sure it's the best move for you. That's all I got, y'all. I'm gonna let my husband take over because I kind of jumped in.
That's what this whole.
Jumped in and took over.
That's what this whole thing is about.
He was getting everything tweaked out and working everything out. And then that video came. It fell right into place. Like he didn't know. Me and him hadn't talked about what he was gonna put up there. But these are conversations that we've had throughout the week and recently, which is today. So hey, you're gonna be tested when you at the end of that when you at the end of the test, you will be tested to the max to see how bad you really want it. And I feel like I passed both my tests both times today. It's okay to vent, let it out. It's gonna upset you. That's part of life, but it's about what you do in that moment. And I think I handled that moment very well. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I like to watch different videos, and there was just one that when I was doing one of the pastimes that I like doing, well, I really don't like doing, sometimes lactose issues force those. And, I have my reading or listening material, and, it came across it, and I was like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's a lot of, that makes a lot of sense because, I mean, that's like with certain people in life, unless you do have an opportunity to test people and test yourself, you really won't know who's reliable, who you can lean on, who you can trust on, especially if you like a store manager for instance. When you run in the store, a lot of times when you're told that you have to get 100 sales or 1,000 sales, and then you still got to get the stock out there. A lot of times you think that you yourself have to get everything done, and you forget that you're put in place to have a team to assign certain things that fit their strengths and their weaknesses to allow for you to be able to handle more than just one place. And when you're doing it yourself and you don't really have those team members accountable and you don't allow them to do anything, you really can't blame anyone on the team because you're doing it yourself. You really haven't given your team members an opportunity to fill any shoes, or even show that they're weak at a certain thing. A lot of times we'll go and we'll be working with a person, we see that they're weak at this one point, they figure that they're completely useless as opposed to, okay, test them out on this one. They might be weak at their register. Okay, let me put them on the freight. Okay, pretty cold with freight, or vice versa. You go in there and they not too good on freight, but they in there on the register and they knock it out the box. Well, hey, you might have some that suck at doing all of that. If that's the case, see what they like on paperwork. See what they like on just not even just putting freight up, but straighten things out. There's multiple ways that you can have your team to be able to relieve a lot of the stresses upon you. And I say, if you don't test them as well as testing yourself, it makes it that much difficult for you to achieve. And then, not only that, in the back of your mind, you're always going to be thinking, are they going to let me down? Or can I depend on them? I don't have the time to be able to. Or, it's just a matter of just handling it and do what you got to do to make sure that you hold your team accountable, and then also give them a little bit of flexibility to be able to show you their strengths and their weaknesses. Did you have anything else you want to add to that one?
No, guys, I had a brainstorm and I have to write it down.
Okay,
so I'm good. I'm good, baby. I agree with everything that you just said.
Okay, well, here's another one.
This is our problem. That's the problem with us. That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what married people do. And we call this a family because the kids are in the middle.
Hold on. That's not giving that one justice. I got to do something. Y'all hang on for a second here because I want to make sure that you get the full gist of this video because this is some powerful stuff right here. Like, seriously, I think that I've always felt a certain way about family, and I don't know if this is the answer to it, but I've always thought that, when it comes to a family, the most important piece of the family were the parents. And a lot of times, whenever, and I'm talking it up a little bit, giving a little bit of the information of what you just heard while it's processing and getting up there. But, a lot of times in our day and age, you have a lot of divorce once the kids leave the house. And the reason for that is because a lot of the times the little man is the head of the household, even though that there is a father or parents in the picture, So whenever it gets to a point to where that person is grown, that children go their certain ways, then there it becomes a void with the parents because a lot of times instead of them really concentrating on each other and learning each other and just being with each other. Well,
See, this is our problem. That's the problem with us. That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what married people do. And we call this a... See, this is our problem. That's the problem with us. That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what married people do. And we call this a family. Because the kids are in the middle. Don't change now. Don't change now. Stay right there. Don't be pulling him over there now. No, you done messed up a long time. Don't be pulling him over there now. This is our problem. Come here, kids. Stand over there for me, please. Before they existed, you were one. You were one. And God never meant for your children to come between your union. That's where you're messing up. That's why when the kids grow up and they leave and they go to college, you are two strangers. Because you don't even know each other. Because the kids were always between you guys. You're out of order. It's the father, the mother. And at no given time, God wanted the children to come between you. That's not His will. Because what happens now, you become attached to your daughters. You become attached to your daughters. And before you know it, detached from each other. So what happens now? So what happens when the children grow up? They go separate ways. Please continue to walk that way. They go separate ways. Here's the struggle. There's such a gap. Huge gap. That turns into fighting at each other, arguing, because you are dead strangers. When this is how God wanted this to happen in the first place. First child comes. Still a family. Still a family. He's head. She's supporter. So happens a daughter comes in. And notice, the daughter is not between them. The daughter is beside them. Where are your children? Are they beside you in the family structure? Or are they between you and the spouse? The second one comes. She comes beside. Still one. Still strong. Still leading. So when they go their separate ways to college, you're still one.
In the worst possible way.
Hey, it's an AOV.
Honey, you stood right by me. And that's how love is supposed to be.
lyrics to show. I had to go ahead and throw that ad up in there real quick just to let you know that this Saturday is going to be going down again at 310 Cherry Street. The time is 9 o'clock p.m. when the industry mixer countdown starts. That means you get 60 minutes, 59 minutes to get to 310 Cherry Street to pay $0 to get in and have a great time. Come get in the vibes with yours truly and the missus and the Echo family and get to sing on our open mic platform. We do this each and every Saturday, so be on the lookout. We are doing it big these next 3 weekends. So make sure that you are a part of it. Stay tuned to a lot of what we do have going on and be a part of Lyrics to Show each and every weekend. But I do want to say, going back to that video, I didn't watch the last, I want to say maybe minute or so of that. I watched that live here with each and every one of you, and I was actually wondering where they were going to put the other daughter, where she was going to be on the other side with the kids. So that can kind of bum, but I do see how that still will make it. If you're looking at the structure of how they had it, the kids over here and the parents over here, and you separating them, and you really got a gap in between the parent and the kid. But if you got the kids anchoring you on both sides, then they got us balanced out, make sure us parents are good and all that.
But I understood what he was saying, because see, you're the man, you're the lead, you're the head. You already got a balance because you're leading us. I'm the supporter. I'm supporting you, making sure we continue that balance and that we stay on track with that balance. Then we done added in little us. So the little us is behind us. Of course, they're gonna always have our back. So that one that we have right there has our back, is watching out for mama and daddy. So now when that one is born, that one's watching out for the oldest. And remember, the oldest is still watching out for mama and daddy. So that support system is going to trickle down the line in order as it should be. So I really feel like I really enjoyed that, and I'm glad that you picked that. I noticed that you've been doing more of the religion, like incorporating more of the Bible and different things from church. I like that. I like that. It's the outside world, and then you got inside the Christian world, or whatever race they, whatever religion they is. But I love what he said. You won before they come, and then after they leave, you'll continue to be one. So I love the fact that we have our date nights and everything, and then we're with our babies. Our babies leave, then we can still go back to what it is that we were doing before our babies came, and that's cold and have date night and still be able to speak to each other. And that made sense. A lot of marriages do become estranged when the kids are gone, because it's just all about the kids.
And doing it like it's either daddy paying attention to the kids or mama not really getting that attention, or that time, or vice versa. Mom in love with the kids and everything. Kids forget him, and eventually during that time they're gonna be together, but it's gonna be like I'm just here for the kids. One of them gonna be I'm just here for the kids, and then the moment the kids gone, it's gonna be like, oh well, shit.
And see that dynamic.
But I'm here for now.
That dynamic was kind of like with my mom and dad, and then she had my brother, and we know his situation. He a little smarter than all of us. Him a little smarter than all of us. She went there and had a little genius. Then she had me. There was me in between. But I looked at how even with me and my brother being there, they would always set time out where if they didn't go on a date, they rode out together. They'd go on a car ride, or they pull up and they be sitting in the yard, and me and my brother come outside. What y'all doing? They be sitting outside eating them a burger. Of course, we've been in field our bellies, but I just looked at how they did that, and I always admired that about them. Is their marriage perfect? No, but almost 50 years of marriage, hey, that's a couple that I can stand behind. Like, it's not about being like them, but it's about having that strength to stay in a marriage after you're married. And they showed me that throughout my entire 40 years, because they had their ups and downs, they had their moments where they wanted to separate and go separate ways. And they did separate for about an hour or two. I don't know if they really count, but they did. But hey, he came on back home after that hour or two because he said he couldn't do it like that. And I looked at how they went through the good, the bad, and the ugly, but they turned out and they made all of that into something beautiful. And here it is. I'm sitting right here. My brother. With his handsome self, he over there. But I like that structure. That structure though. And then after I left, my brother, because my brother couldn't leave home, but they still to this day. They still have their date nights. Sometimes they cool down on me and they be in the van together or in their little vehicle together chilling. So I love that about them even after all these years. And then I like something that they started doing after their 40th year of marriage. She stopped calling him her husband. She just said, "That's my boyfriend." I said, "Oh, so y'all calling again?" She said, "Yes, that's my boyfriend. That's my boo." And then, she kind of fucked me up when she said, "We have entanglements." I said, "Mama, you done learned a new word and you using it." It was funny. It was funny, y'all. Y'all had to be there, because anybody know my mama knows she funny anyways. But yeah, most definitely. It's always good to have that structure and do it in order that it's intended for. So I know with you coming in and you not being a biological father, I always told you that you was the lead, I understand where you're coming from, not being their biological father and coming in. Even our relationship, I love our dynamic because the kids have so much respect for you and love for you that they don't try to. Now they tried it once. It was a new relationship. They tried it once, tried to play us against each other. But I nipped that in the bud because, see, that's not what we was going to do. We had a family meeting and we shut that down because we are the united front. And what we say goes. So they do respect that now. The kids, if they want to do something, they more so go to dad and talk to dad because they know mom is like, who? But they learn it. Dad do the same thing. Hold up, let's go in here with your mom. Hold up.
It may get a little 2 seconds more with me, depending on what it is, but and it's one of those. They know that at times, hey, if it makes sense to him, yeah, he'll be able to make sense to her. But if it's something, and vice versa, if they know if it's something that she'll get first and understand first, they're gonna come to it. And like I said, it's just a matter of communication and conversation. They are great young adults, and look, it's just a matter of being able to be there and just kind of going back to something you said. In a sense, it is being like them because they whatever they've been through, it's not being exactly them, but being like them in the sense of or ism or ish, be like an ish, into where we do have the longevity in our relationship to be able to reach 50 years, 40 years, 20 years, and still be able to have that fire of love and
I think we broke up once, didn't we? We broke up.
It was kind of a breakup.
It was like 30 minutes.
One of Jamie Foxx moments.
It was like 30 minutes, y'all. 30 minutes.
Go on. You get up, I'm gone.
30 minutes.
No, I ain't gonna call it. Fuck that. Nah, fuck that. I'm just finna go over there.
I ain't texting. Looking out the window, see if maybe is he coming out? Okay. So yeah. We broke up about 30 minutes, y'all. They came to abrupt ending real quick because where you going? Come on back home.
But and like I said, that's one of those you have to test it because we were really looking at how bad do we both want it because as you heard it stated several times, we're both stubborn and a lot of times until we can actually see the reason, the rationale for compromise, and that's where communication comes in at because if you don't even take the time out to communicate your thoughts to a person, you cannot expect for them to change any thought process, any mental, any spiritual, anything when it comes to how you see or feel that things are. And like I said, just being transparent and open communication helps build the trust and the test. if I'm wearing this fake chain and someone come and tell me that they want to test it to see if it's real, odds are I'm going to fight, do what I can to keep them from putting that machine on my neck. And that's the same thing when it comes to relationships and all that. If you're not willing to have a person that asks you a question and you can take yourself out of the question being asked, and how dare you ask me that? No, because I want to know. It ain't nothing on you personal. It's just that if instead of me at the end of the day filling in the blanks myself, if I'm comfortable enough with my person to be able to ask them a question and she can come to me with the answer, no matter how off the wall she may think it is or I may think it is, we having that conversation about it. You never know. That off the wall might be on the same wall as my wall. So that's one of those you just don't fill in the blanks for. And we do a lot to make sure that we're communicating with each other, talking to each other about certain things, asking questions when we're confused about certain things, and taking ourselves out of it instead of just saying, well, how dare you ask me that? You think I'm cheating? No, no. And truth be told, it makes it easier when you're not cheating. Because when you are doing a little bit of dirt, damn near anything that is coming your way to be asked, you're gonna be thinking something. So
we don't live like that.
I'm not ruffling nobody's feathers, no cap on nobody out there, but y'all might just want to pay a little attention to that. So if